and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, I'm Sophie. I make videos on lifestyle, cleaning, organising and budgeting. So for today's video, it's going to be wedding hacks to do on a budget. So these little hacks are things that I did at my wedding, so I wanted to make this video a little more personal and show you some pictures from my wedding as well on what we did to save lots and lots of money. I understand not everyone has a budget and this video might not be for everyone, but we did most of our wedding buying and stuff like that on a budget. So I just wanted to show you what I did, and I hope it gives you some inspiration to not be worried about doing things yourself. So a bit of a backstory. I got married back in 2018 in April. We got married in Nottingham where we live, and it was genuinely the best day of my life. I wouldn't change anything for the world. Fashion does change though, so I look at weddings now and I'm like, oh, I wish that was in fashion when we did our wedding. But like I said, I don't regret anything, and I still look at the photos to this day and love everything about it. So I'm going to be talking things from dresses to rings to cakes to everything. So if this is the sort of video you like to see, make sure you stick around. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would mean the world to me, because I'll be bringing more content like this in the future. So let's talk wedding dresses. Like I said, I'll try and upload some photos along the way so you can see what I did and what I bought. But my wedding dress, the number one tip that I would give is don't get it too early. I did this, rushed into it and ended up buying two, because I bought it pretty much a month after I got engaged, and we actually didn't get married for another 2.5 years after. Like I said, fashion changes, and I fell out of love with that dress, to be honest. So yeah, I ended up buying another one. But I bought my wedding dress from an outlet shop. So I didn't spend loads and loads of money on this dress. I probably could have got a cheaper wedding dress, but I wanted the experience of actually trying wedding dresses on with my bridesmaids and my mum. So yeah, I would recommend having a look on online and eBay, but I would recommend going to like a wedding outlet because they have such a massive range to choose from. So yeah, I absolutely love my wedding dress. I had sort of like a princess style dress, but not too puffy, and absolutely loved it and want to try it on again. Haven't actually tried it on since I got married, so maybe I'll do that on my anniversary. Okay, and next are bridesmaid dresses and groomsmen suits. So our lovely bridesmaids and groomsmen actually bought their own dresses and suits. This was a massive, massive saving of ours, and they really didn't mind doing that. They would have had to buy a dress or a suit for the wedding anyway, so they really, really didn't mind, and it helped our budget out massively. With the groomsmen, they wore any shoes that they wanted, and then with the bridesmaid like accessories and shoes, I actually bought those, but them actually buying their own dresses and suits helped massively. And I got the bridesmaid dresses on ASOS. Sorry, I found them, but the bridesmaids actually paid for them, and I think they were £45 each, so they didn't break the bank at all. But yeah, I feel really nervous saying that because I was just so grateful that they actually paid for them. And I know this isn't for everyone and everyone's budget is different, but if you are struggling and want to pull back the reins a little bit, speak to them, because I guarantee they will want to help you. They are your bridesmaids and groomsmen at the end of the day, and they will want to help as much as they can. Okay, so moving on to hair and makeup. So I was really lucky that one of my bridesmaids is a hairdresser. So she actually did our hair. I think to be honest, all the girls were really good at hair, so they all helped each other. But my friend Ellie did my hair for me, and yeah, that was just a massive savings. But if you've got any hairdressers as friends, maybe have a chat with them, see if they could maybe do this as a wedding present for you. Or a lot of people are quite good at hair, so have a play. If you've got time to plan, maybe get your friends round and have a play, so it saves you a hairdresser fee. And yeah, with makeup, one of our guests at our wedding, our really good friend, actually is a makeup artist, and she did my wedding makeup for me. I did give her some money for this, but she did it at a really, really discounted price for me. And yeah, it was amazing. It was so good having a makeup artist at my wedding, and she was my friend as well, so it made it just so special that morning. Okay, moving on to flowers. So flowers is one of the things that we didn't really budget on. We set a budget limit and we stuck to it, but we didn't really, flowers was a bit out of our comfort zone. We didn't really know. All we knew was what colours we wanted, and we went to our florist and they did us a really good deal, to be honest. But one thing that I would say is the more greenery and foliage that you get, the cheaper your flowers will be. And I know that is all the fashion at the moment, so fingers crossed your flower bill won't be that expensive. So yeah, we actually got married in like an old converted barn. So where we sat and had dinner was some old like sties, like pig sties. Sounds gross, but it wasn't. But we had like foliage going around the sties, and they weren't expensive at all. So yeah, I would recommend going for more greenery than actual flowers. Okay guys, so next thing is rings. So I'm not materialistic in the slightest. If you put a Haribo ring on my finger, I would not care less. But we actually got recommended this lovely, lovely woman, Cyrilyn, who we actually made our wedding rings with. This was like a little workshop course that me and my husband did before we got married, obviously, and it really didn't break the bank at all. In fact, it was probably less than half the price we were looking at paying for rings originally. So these courses cost around a couple of £100, but yeah, I'd really recommend it, making your own wedding rings. And it was just such a precious day, and I'll never forget that day. It was just amazing, and I'd love to be able to do something like that in the future. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to talk about is guest books. So there's so many different ways that you can do guest books now, but our main focus was just saving loads of money. So we collected big pebbles and stones, and we actually made the guests write on them. And one day, I thought I would have done it by now, 3 years later, we want to make like a outdoor garden table out of it and pour resin over the top, and then we'll obviously be able to see all the names on there. But all I paid for this was probably £2, because I had to buy Sharpies for people to sign the stones. But this was such a different way back then. I know that there's so many different ways now, but I really like this, and it fitted with our barn style wedding. And again, with our table plan, we made it all by ourselves. We actually had like all of our stationery printed for us and designed by a lovely friend of mine. She did us a really good deal as well, but you can create your own things like that now. It's so easy to do on things like Canva and stuff like that. But yeah, with our table plan, all I did was got a big mirror and decorated it in fake flowers, and we actually put moss on it. I think the moss was real actually, but just literally glue gunned it on each corner and then stuck our table plan on there. And this was really effective. We spoke to our venue as well, and they had an easel, so we didn't have to buy one of them. So yeah, if you're going to do something like that, speak to your wedding venue, and they more than likely will have an easel that you can borrow without a charge. We didn't have to pay for ours anyway. So yeah, these sort of things are really fun and creative to do, and it's just so exciting to do on the lead up to your wedding as well. Okay guys, and then the next thing that I want to quickly talk about is wedding favours, so things that you'd get for your guests to come to your wedding. So these actually doubled up as a place name, table name, you know what I mean, as well. And I can't find a photo of one of these, but if I do in the meantime, I'll upload one. But basically my dad drilled loads of log slices, and then I stamped each person's name on them and popped a little ribbon through them. And yeah, they were like a little decoration, and people now use these as Christmas ornaments and baubles for their tree, and it's so lovely because each year people send me a photo of them, say, oh, remember these? So yeah, I loved these, and they cost me nothing really. I just paid for the stamps and the ribbon for them. And then the final thing that I want to talk about is confetti. So a lot of people buy this through their florist and get dried flowers, which is lovely to do. You could potentially do this yourself if you wanted dried flowers. A lot of venues state that it has to be biodegradable, so you can't have anything plastic or anything like that, but a lot of things are biodegradable when it comes to confetti. But what I did, I can't find a close-up photo, but I'll upload a photo of us in the confetti. But what I did, because music is a really good place in mine and my husband's heart, I got a load of sheet music from Car Boots and got one of them heart stamp cutters and basically cut loads out. It took me days to do because you need a lot. So yeah, they were all handmade by me, and then I just got some paper doilies and wrapped them into a cone and put basically a handful of confetti in each of them. This was so effective and it looked so good on the photo, as you can see. But yeah, that worked really well and cost me, again, probably 50p for a load of sheet music. We had our cake made by our friend as well, who did such a beautiful job, and she did this as a wedding present for us. So yeah, they are a few of my things that I did for my wedding which were on a budget. These ideas didn't cost a lot at all, so if you are going to be getting married soon, some of these ideas might come in handy to you, and yeah, I really hope they do. Let me know in the comments if you decide to do any of them. I'd love to know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and supporting my videos as always, and I will see you very soon in my next video.